Okay. This is good. What's up, everybody? I had some technical difficulties trying to get on right at 7. I've actually never did a scheduled live stream, so this was a mess, honestly. It's a new link than what I sent out, so I'm trying to send it to someone really quick. I gotta practice on this live stream stuff because this is not a joke whatsoever. How you doing, Salita? If you guys have any questions, we'll get started here very shortly. If you guys have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer any question. Nothing's really off limits. If I don't feel comfortable answering it or anything like that, I will definitely say that. Pretty open about everything. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's see. What in the world is going on? I know you see this, Toledo. What in the world? All these spammers on my live. Get off of my live. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get all these spammers out of my live right now. Yeah, they do need to leave. But we're not focusing on the negativity here. How's everyone's day going so far? Yeah, see, I don't know who these people are. So we're just going to report them. Just going to keep reporting them, honestly. Oh, there you go. I can hide their messages. Give me a few more seconds, guys. I'm trying to update this thing on LinkedIn. I posted on LinkedIn, but obviously it's the wrong link. You're so welcome. I'm gonna start because I have a list of questions and everything. So give me one more second. I appreciate you guys' patience. I don't know why if anybody's good with live streams, Let me know. Okay. Well, obviously we can't block them because they just said you can't block. We have thousands of accounts and we will be here all night. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, you guys are on my channel giving me watch time because I'm monetized. So I appreciate um you watching. So we are going to get started. Any negative comments that you guys see in the chat, just ignore. You know how people are, but we're going to keep going forward. We're alive in a pandemic, and that's the most grateful thing. Most thing that I'm grateful for out of anything. I have my KennyJTV shirt on today. I was looking for my actual KennyJTV polo, could not find it, so I just put this shirt on. So here we go. So I had a few questions when I made a post, I want to say a week ago, about any questions that people had if I did go live, and just let me know. So I'm going to read a few of those questions and start answering those questions, and then we can kind of go from there. If you guys do have any questions, just let me know. Just drop it in the chat, and then I will be more than happy to answer those questions. So somebody asked me, what motivates you to continue when business is slow or you have disappointments in the professions? Let's see. What motivates me to keep going when business is slow? As most of you know, I started out at State Farm before I had my own business. And I can say it was not refreshing, but it was nice knowing that all businesses or all insurance companies, insurance agencies do have slow periods. So me going into insurance or going into my agency, I knew that that was possible. What keeps me going is that I know that it's going to be a better day. It's going to get better. I haven't had a lot of slow periods. I just started my agency in January, but whenever I have downtime or slow time, that's when I get a lot of back end or administrative stuff done, as well as reaching out to different companies, different people, because everybody needs insurance. So I take the slow time as a blessing. It gives me time to regroup, get everything together. And also I look at videos and listen to podcasts about how to better yourself as a salesperson, as a business owner, and as an insurance agent. I really wish there were, podcasts that focus on, just insurance. And I don't think there's one out there. If you do know a podcast, drop it in the comment because I would love to see that. I feel like us as insurance agents aren't represented enough, on social media and things like that, which is why I initially created my channel, because when I wanted to get into insurance, there was no other person in insurance on YouTube my age, one, or two, that was African American. I think it's so important, especially as a young African American male, to shed light on positivity and something that is better in the world. As I said in the previous video, the insurance industry is a $7.04 trillion industry, and only 3% of the industry is Black. So that tells you a lot right there of how underrepresented we are. And then, as I said again, the commercials and the different YouTube videos I was seeing, it was a lot of older people talking, and I, can't relate to that because I'm not that age, and they've lived their life and they've had their experience. But I am definitely, happy to be that young face in insurance. Let's see. Somebody said, first off, want to start off by saying thank you, brother. I was on the fence about going into insurance, and when I came across your channel, I took the leap. Shout out to you. I wish I'd have wrote down your name, but shout out to you for taking the leap. Insurance is definitely a lucrative field. The insurance and financial industries has the most millionaires out of any industry in the world. So congratulations to you. He said, okay, here's the question. I got my PNC license in February 2021, and now I'm about to take my exam for life and health this week. I need advice on which IMO or agency cluster I should look at, as I would like to utilize both licenses and capitalize on leads and possible cross-selling products. What are your suggestions? So that would be more of a coaching call answer. I have an agency cluster. They are amazing. They make my job so much easier. I have a whole team behind me, and I don't have to pay them. So it's great. I've learned a lot from my cluster, from the state director. They're very helpful because at the end of the day, they want you to sell their products. Congratulations to you for passing the exam. You're taking your life and health. I promise you, life and health is a lot harder than PNC. So just keep going, do your research, reach out to me. My links in any of my video description box. Just look in there, book a call, and I would be more than happy to answer that for you. Somebody said term life versus whole life insurance. I always say that life insurance is not a one-size-fits-all. I know plenty of agents out here that believe that, and it's just not true. Everybody's in a different financial situation, and you want to cater that policy towards that person. I'm more of a whole life type of guy. I love to definitely pitch that to my clients. I feel like I know that everybody needs a whole life policy. Term is more for an immediate need, more so you get a 30-year term, your house is financed for 30 years. When your house is paid off, you no longer have this huge amount of debt, so that'll fall off. That's when I think that term life is appropriate, but everybody needs a whole life insurance policy. I see a lot of term life insurance agents saying, hey, you can get a term and invest the rest, but investments can go south. Everybody doesn't know how to invest correctly, or some people just may not ever get around to invest. So whole life is going to be there and it's guaranteed no matter what. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. How many insurance agents are on YouTube? From what I see, I mean, it's quite a few. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely not the only insurance agent on YouTube. I'm one of the younger ones. People that I watch like Cody Askins. I definitely watch him. Other people I watch, that's honestly it, to be honest. What I actually watch, I get a lot of my video ideas from real estate agents. If you don't know or don't look at or not interested in looking at real estate agents on YouTube, it's a very, I would say, oversaturated YouTube category. But you get a lot of good ideas. And in my head, insurance agents are the cousin career to real estate agents. So I love getting ideas from them. And that's where I got my day in the life idea or concept from, was them. So I was very grateful to be able to get ideas from there. But it definitely are a few insurance agents on YouTube. I just haven't seen a ton of them. If you guys know any insurance YouTubers, definitely drop them in the comments below. And the people that are doing insurance videos, they're not insurance targeted. So they may do a video like, I'm an insurance agent, I'm going to give you this gem, but then they're not really focused on that on their channel. So that doesn't really help me, find YouTubers that are in insurance. Let's see. Are you thinking about doing a podcast later? I would actually love to do a podcast. My friend actually just started her podcast, but it's more so like feminism and things like that. It's very interesting, when you're riding in the car and just listening to a woman's take. It's very interesting, and it's a great podcast, great production. I would love to get into that. But if I did it, I would want a podcast, like have a studio, have a podcast, but also have it recorded. So there was like a visual to the podcast. So essentially a YouTube video, but not. I wanted like a whole production. Like I may not release every visual, but I still want there to be visuals to my podcast that I could potentially release at a later date. But I do love podcasts. I want to get more into podcasts. I just don't know a lot of good podcasters personally. I mean, I know they're out there. I just haven't come across a lot of them. How do you promote yourself as a new captive agent, specifically using social media? So it's really easy. So when I was with State Farm, I was definitely marketing myself because I knew that wasn't the end goal. But if you're with a captive agent like State Farm, Allstate, Nationwide, anybody like that, it's super easy because State Farm is already marketing. And if you say, hey, I'm Jill from State Farm, I'm Kenny from State Farm, it goes a long way. So just consistently posting content about insurance, about your life and insurance and different facts that could help people will definitely help you market yourself as an insurance agent. Because a lot of times people do not buy from you because they do not know that you are an insurance agent. So that's the only thing. So how do you expect people to buy if they don't know? So consistently putting out information and good content, and don't make it like you can save on your car insurance if you do this. Like, make it more fun, make it interactive, and make it lifestyle based, so people know that, hey, you are an insurance agent, but you also can enjoy life, and you also are normal. You're not like a robot being paid by the company to release content. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. Let's see. You're so welcome to mental health consulting. Yeah, I love talking to the insurance profession. I'm very grateful that I got into this profession. It's always a learning experience. I just hired a new agent, and we were training on some type of concept with commercial insurance, and we were going over some type of endorsement that you can add to a general liability policy, and we both learned something that day. And I told her, like, hey, I'm never going to act like I know everything, because I don't, and I never can grow as an individual if I act like I know everything. So we learned something new together. We kind of talked through it and worked through it. And I said, this is why I love insurance, because I'm never going to get stagnant. It's never repetitive. Like, you write a policy, you may write similar policies, but no two policies are ever the same, or no two things are ever the same in insurance. So I'm consistently learning word track, policies and what they entail, and just how to market to different demographics. So it's very interesting in insurance. I'm always, learning something new. Okay, let's see. Are brick and mortar offices still a thing? So brick and mortar offices are still a thing. I actually have a brick and mortar and an address, but I don't work out of the brick and mortar. It's funny, I didn't know what brick and mortar was for a long time, but I kept saying, I'm like, what is a brick and mortar? But it's essentially, for people that don't know what a brick and mortar is, it's basically like a physical location, like McDonald's. When you go to McDonald's, it's a building. So that is a brick and mortar. A lot of times, different agencies or different companies, if you're on the independent side, won't give you appointments or won't allow you to write through them if you don't have a brick and mortar shop, store, whatever you want to call it. I do feel like that will go away in the future, just because of the pandemic, and you can work from home. So I do understand why they are saying that, but I feel like the more we progress working from home, they won't necessarily say you have to have a brick and mortar. And you don't have to have one now, but it does advance you a little farther than the people that don't have brick and mortars. Let's see. You get free time being an insurance agent, but it depends on who you work for. So there's different ways that you could be an insurance agent. You can work as an independent agent, and you're just representing a whole bunch of companies. You don't work for anybody. You're just kind of working for yourself. You could be in a call center and just constantly getting inbound calls, making sales, and you're getting, like, let's say $30 per policy or $50 a policy. No real commission, just straight payment. You could work as an independent agency owner, which I am. So you have people under you, and you have an agency, and you're consistently training people. You could be a captive agent in a brick and mortar, like a State Farm, and just be going into the office every day. So it depends on where you work. I talk to people that do call centers for insurance agent. It's not a lot of freedom, because you have to be at the computer in the call center. But for me, thankfully, I've had a lot of freedom since I have left State Farm, just because I own my own business and I can create my own hours. People think that because I'm an insurance agent and I own my own business, I can work when I want to work and I'm just living the life. Yeah, I guess that's true, but at the same time, this is your business, and as my parents always say, it'll work if you work it. So you have to put in that time and that energy. So it's been nights I've been up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just different things in order to make my business better. So with that's looking at different e-signatures and looking at different CRM systems to use, or just different ways to market. Like, the work doesn't stop after 5 o'clock, or it doesn't start before it does start before 9 a.m. So it's a 24-hour thing. A client can call me at 9 p.m. and I promise you I'm going to answer the phone and give them the best service possible. And I feel like when you have that attitude and you're consistently wanting to grow and be better, it's like it'll work out for you. It'll separate you from everybody else. And even at State Farm, when I was doing research outside of work and I was getting those sales, and I was one of the highest sellers between two offices that my old agency owner had, they would always ask, Kenny, how do you know so much? And it's like, when I go home, I eat and I look at insurance stuff because I actually love insurance. It's not because I was intentionally do it to like, oh my God, I need to know all of this, but I enjoy looking at stuff relating to insurance, which is why I made my YouTube channel directly, about insurance. So I would learn more in different ways how to speak with customers or different things that the policy had. So it definitely helped me in the long run being able to step out of my box of 9 to 5 and then doing insurance all the time. And it's really progressed me in my career farther than people that I've started with. How do you feel about a new independent agent focusing strictly on health insurance? Health insurance is actually very lucrative, and it's funny. I have like a quick little story. So I know this guy when I was at State Farm. He used to work for State Farm, but he left, and now he's an independent agent. He just does health insurance, right? But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. He only works during open enrollment. So from November to December, whenever the open enrollment period is, that's all he does. And he makes 6 figures every year. So the rest of the year, he does whatever he wants. He travels, does all that good stuff. But health insurance is so lucrative because everybody needs it. Unfortunately, everybody can't afford it, but there are different programs out here that can assist people with getting health insurance. And if you inform people that, hey, I do health insurance, I promise you will get a lot of business. People reach out to me all the time saying, hey, do you do health insurance? I need health insurance. My job doesn't offer it, or I'm not working, or I have my own business. And if you reach out to a lot of business owners, they need health insurance as well, but they own their own business, so they necessarily don't have health insurance through their job. So just all about marketing yourself. If you're marketing yourself as a health insurance agent, you just got to be aggressive with it. Reach out and just research different ways how to market yourself in that way. Somebody said, did you ever feel the insurance agents do the dirty work? Sometimes the agent is the last to know things and the insurer gets upset with us. I definitely understand where you're coming from, but with me, I'm very hands-on and I'm very like, I have to know. So if I don't hear something from underwriting, my processing team, I'm reaching out to them because I never want the insured to get upset because that reflects me and my business. So I stay ahead of the game. If that's me calling 4 or 5 times a day, I promise you I'm going to call you and you're going to give me an answer because I want to be able to communicate with the insured and say, hey, this is going on. I'm working diligently to get it fixed, but I don't want them to get a letter from the insurance company then calling me saying what's going on. Now I don't know. And I'm like, let me look into it and I'll give you a call back. That doesn't really show the client that you care about them. So I definitely want to always be ahead of the whatever's coming behind me. I want to be ahead of it and hopefully be able to stop it. But if I'm not, like I said, just being able to communicate that with the client, and then that puts them at ease as well, knowing that you do have it under control as the insurance professional. Have you heard of Family First Life, and what do you think of MLM insurance companies? I have heard of Family First Life. They try to recruit me every day. I'm not a big fan of MLMs at all. I feel like it's a pyramid scheme, to be completely honest with you. I'm very transparent. I feel like it gets so far down that insurance agents are focusing more on recruiting people than selling the insurance. And then they're quickly training people, but they're not training them the right way. And that gets to the point where you're just selling people anything, especially with life insurance. And life insurance is so important. Everybody needs it. But if you don't know how to correctly sell life insurance or correctly analyze what they need, it can be very bad. And I run across a lot of people that were sold through, MLM, and now they're looking at me and they're 70 years old, and it's really hard for them to get insurance because they got a term policy or whatever. So it's definitely important I would stay away from MLMs, but it just depends on, your need and how you want to go about the insurance industry. Let's see. How much can you expect to make the first month working as a life and health agent? It really depends on how much they give you in advance. So basically, life insurance companies give you an advance sometimes. So let's say you write a premium, you get 50% and it's $1,000 for the year. They may give you 6 months in advance and then the 6 months later. I hope that makes sense. So it just depends on how much you make for commission, how hard you're working, and how you push it. So I would definitely say that it definitely depends. It's no straightforward answer. Even people reach out to me and say, how much can you make at State Farm? It literally depends on the agency owner and how much they want to pay, how much commission, incentives, bonuses, and things like that. But I will say that you can make very, very, very well working in insurance strictly as a life and health agent. So it just depends on how you market it, the company, the payment structure. If you're independent, working with life and health, you can make a lot of money as well. I've seen commissions go as high as 138% of the first year premium. It just depends on what you want to focus on. I'm so thankful for all of your videos. You have encouraged me to step out on faith and start a career. Amen. Start a career in insurance. Insurance is, I will always say, one of the best decisions I have ever made in my entire life. I'm very grateful that I was afforded the opportunities. I had mentors. I had people that were in insurance that really showed me the way. And I always, pay my homage to my parents. They're both licensed agents as well. That's not their bread and butter, but they're also in insurance as well. And my brother was in insurance, and people like that just showed me that insurance is a career that you can do well in. So definitely take that leap of faith and you will not regret it. She said, okay, be nice. Earth girl, you're funny. Do you receive referrals from developers, real estate agents, etc.? Real estate developers, that's a really good idea. I haven't actually got in contact with any real estate developers, but they make a lot of money. And I definitely need to connect with them because they're the ones that's developing these different developments. Real estate agents, I get a lot of referrals from, not them, I get referrals from real estate agents, but not a lot. Most of my referrals come from captive agents. So the State Farm, they can't write those high risk people. So I am able to. So I get a lot of referrals from there. And actually the place where I get most of my referrals are Facebook. So I'm in a lot of small Black-owned business group, a lot of just small business groups, and they refer me a lot of business. I want to say over half of my business this month alone has came from leads from Facebook. And I don't pay for any leads. I personally don't believe in buying leads. We did it at State Farm. Well, my old agency owner bought leads at State Farm, and it never went well. They would lapse, so they were like, why are you calling me, or things like that. So I never believe in that. And I do, I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that what's for you is for you, and God will make a way. And he has, since I've been in business. So I haven't, thank God, had to buy any leads. And I continue to market myself and ask those clients that you write for referrals, and that will keep your pipeline busy. Shout out to Zid, man. That's my brother for life. I appreciate you for the support, Zid. I wish my associates at the company I work for thought like this. It seems like I'm one of the few agents with principles and morals and work with cuss. Wow. Yeah, a lot of insurance companies are like that. Even agents that I talk to, I would say get out. There's so many companies that'll be willing to pay you more, especially because you're licensed. When you're licensed, it's so easy to get a job. So I would say, honestly, get out of there, reevaluate, and just think, like, is this really the best thing for me? If it's not, I would definitely say get out of there. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, I have to go to sleep with a clear heart, a clear mind. And if I have done anything that is like shady or not best business practice, first off, I'm not losing my license over anyone or any sale. So I'm always 100% ethical. I have literally lost money or taken a lesser commission because I'm ethical. And at the end of the day, it's always worked out for me. So you don't want to be around that, and you don't want your name or your brand to be attached to something like that. Can you please define exactly what underwriting is? So underwriting, captive agents deal with underwriting a lot on the P&C side. Underwriters, we do independent on the life side. Underwriting is basically after you write the policy, underwriters pull all the different records, whether it's life insurance, they pull their medical records, they pull any type of anything in the world. it's in the cloud and they pull it. And underwriting essentially is saying, this is the quote that we gave you. So let's confirm that they don't have any accidents if it's car insurance. They don't have any losses if it's homeowners insurance. They don't have any medical issues if it is life or health insurance. So underwriting is basically there to ensure that what you said on the application is true and there's no false, information in the policy. Because if it is, underwriting will gladly come back and raise the premium or decline you. So you definitely want to be honest when you're talking to your agent. We as agents may not know if you have these health issues or not, but underwriting will. Underwriting is like the Godfather, and they are going to find it one way or another. Oh, also, before I forget, so I'm going to do 3 free Zoom calls with people on the chat. And all you have to do in order to win is the top 3 people to send me the best insurance video content ideas will win. And you can shoot it to my email. I'm going to put my email down here. But any type of video that you would like to see, the rules are it can't be a video I've already made because obviously I can't make it again. Or if you want a similar video to what I've made, just kind of not vocalize, what's the word I'm looking for? Not enunciate, what's the word I'm looking for? Articulate how you want it to be different. And just put that in on my email and then kind of go from there. And I will email the people back that won, and then we'll hop on a call sometime this week, next week, whenever you guys are free, and we can make something happen. Can you make an in-depth video on exactly how to open your own agency? How do you find and deal with other companies? So you want me to make a video on how to start my own agency. So that is why I do my coaching calls and I have my coaching packages, because that's a lot of information to put in a YouTube video. And I feel like it's very valuable information. So I do that for my clients that are paying me to help them start their agency. I'll give you all the tools and tricks and how I started my agency for under $2,000. It's different tools and different resources that people don't necessarily think. They think, oh, I'm starting an insurance agency. Let me spend $15,000 on leads. Let me buy a just $10,000 CRM system. Let me buy this $5,000 phone system. But it can all be so simple, and people just make it so difficult. So if you want to get on a coaching call, you can email me as well. My packages aren't on that link, but I will be more than happy to send that to you and being able to help you out and mentor you throughout your journey. Earth Girl, are you with State Farm? I was with State Farm. It was definitely a great experience. I always tell people I would never speak ill on State Farm. They gave me my start. They definitely molded me as an insurance agent, and they taught me, a lot of different things. So I'm very, very, very grateful for State Farm. It's a great insurance company. They don't insure a lot of high risk, so that taught me how to really write a policy and write it correctly so they don't get declined. Avery Griffin, I already answered that question. No, how do independent insurance agents get appointed when they are just starting out? The agent never went the captive route. I would definitely recommend getting under an agency cluster. An agency cluster can definitely get all of your appointments for you, and they will walk you through it. I have a great agency cluster that I'm with. I was captive, but I still feel like captive and independent are night and day, and I didn't have the experience on the independent side in order to get all these appointments myself. I do have a lot of direct appointments, but I do have a lot of appointments to my agency cluster as well. So definitely getting with the right agency cluster is key, because a lot of these agency clusters out here may not have your best interests at heart. So getting with the agency cluster definitely is key. How you doing, Melissa? Let's see. Yes, I'm back on YouTube, back on live today. Definitely wanted to get on here, especially after. So I just got monetized, for a lot of you guys that don't know, on YouTube, which essentially means I start to get paid for my videos. I started this YouTube channel less than a year ago. So I'm very grateful that you guys supported me. You watch my videos. You guys send me so many encouraging words and many encouraging messages and emails. And I really do appreciate it. You guys are really the fuel that keeps me going. So I really do appreciate that. Let's see. I hear you talk about being an independent agent often. What if I want to work as a captive agent for a while? Do you still think it's worth it? It's definitely worth it. You can learn a lot on the captive side. The one thing I'll say about the captive side is basically you learn a ton. Like you have that on-site training. A lot of independent agents don't get that training and they have to learn as they go. With my agents, I do have that captive training feel, so they feel like they're not alone. But a lot of times, these independent companies will just throw you to the wolves and say, good luck, make us some money. If you don't, then we'll talk. But a lot of these independent companies are about money. So definitely getting with the right independent agency if you are independent. But if you are captive, that is definitely a great way to go. I know people that are captive and making six figures. You can make a lot of money on the captive side. I just personally wanted to be an entrepreneur, one, and then two, I wanted to own my book of business. I wanted to be able to reap the benefits 5-10 years down the line of the policies that I've written and the clients that I've gained and worked so hard for. Checking in from Tennessee. Oddly enough, I'm licensed in Tennessee. My agency's not, because I don't really know a ton of people in Tennessee. A lot of people have asked me to come to Florida. I'm not licensed in Florida. My agency's not either. But I've had a lot of people ask me about going to Florida, so I'm definitely thinking about going to Florida. I would love to open up an agency like Miami, go down there a few months out the year during the cold months in North Carolina, go to Miami and invite insurance down there. You're so welcome, Melissa. You're so welcome. Let's see if I missed anything. So how long have you guys been in insurance? What got you into insurance? Do you like insurance? Are you a specific type of agent? Do you have a niche, or you a general agent? Let us know. Come to Florida. Quintez, I'm definitely coming to Florida. I love Orlando. When I was little, my parents would always take us to Orlando. They had a timeshare down there, and we would always go to Orlando. And I love the feel of Florida. I have a really close friend. He stays in Orlando as well. And then in Miami is Miami. I've been to Miami a few times. It's definitely a great vibe. So I would love to, if I could have an office with Remedy Insurance and Wealth Builders in Miami, that would be legendary. Another goal of mine, I always tell like my brother this, is I definitely want to be like an insurance agent for celebrities. So like a celebrity insurance agent. I just feel like that'd be cool to network with them and educate them on how to protect their assets. A lot of times they may get insurance because they need it on their car or they're insuring their legs, like if your fiance or somebody, but you need to know, what you're getting yourself into and how to correctly insure. And like me, I'm not the type of person that'll sell you more for more money. I'm going to properly insure you the way you need to be insured. Some information helps so much. I'm starting to work as a life insurance agent. What insurance should I get for myself? How old are you? And do you have any health problems? And what is like your budget for life insurance? That really depends. When you sell in insurance, do you have fully creative control on the design of the policy? So you're asking when I write a policy, do I have full creative control? That's a really good question. So policies they have a template pretty much. You can't change the bare bones of the policy, but you can definitely add and take things away to a certain extent. By law, a general liability policy has to have certain liabilities on there, or a homeowner's policy has to have dwelling coverage. So certain things like that you can't really control 110%, but you have a lot of free reign to insure the person the way you want to, which is why we as insurance agents or accountants, lawyers have professional liability insurance or errors and omissions, because if you make an error on their policy and they have a loss, guess who they're coming to get? They're coming to get you and they're going to sue you. And I've seen firsthand an insurance agent get sued because his client was an accountant and he gave him the wrong insurance and it was a big mess, and he got sued for millions of dollars. So it definitely can happen. So definitely make sure that you are properly insuring these people. And if you don't know, reach out to the underwriters, because they are the people that really, like, you think we know insurance? Underwriters know. Let me look at the camera. Underwriters know insurance like nobody else. Underwriters know everything. Like, if I call them and say, what does this mean? They know. They don't have to type anything in. They don't have to ask. They know everything. And I don't know how they know everything, how they get this information, but they are geniuses. I love my underwriting team, and there's nobody else that I love more than underwriters. So I love my underwriting team. Are you in Georgia? And do I have friends there? I am in Georgia. My agency is licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. The next state, realistically, that I think I'm going to get from my agency is Maryland. I have a ton of warm market in Maryland. A lot of people that I hold dear to my heart. So they always ask me, like, please come to Maryland. We want you to insure our homes, our companies, this, that, and the third. So for commercial, I can insure in 48 states. So if you have a business in any state, you can reach out to me. I can insure you. But more so for personal lines and life insurance, I can't really do that in other states. But I have a ton of friends in Georgia as well. I'll probably be going to Atlanta soon to see some friends. And Atlanta's pretty open for the, in regards to the pandemic. So I definitely want to visit Atlanta. I always have a great time when I do go there. Do you recommend becoming licensed in multiple states as a captive agent? So for me, when I went to State Farm, the agency was licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and somewhere else. So she automatically bought all those licenses for us. But she's a superstar in State Farm. She has 2 agencies. Like, she's a boss. She's 20 years in the game, and she's like 40. So she started, right out of college. So I would recommend that if you plan to really expand and take this thing seriously. It's nothing wrong with starting with one state, because states are huge. They have a lot of people in there, a lot of warm market that you can work with. But let's say I moved to Texas, and I don't know a ton of people, but I'm from North Carolina. I would definitely have my non-resident license in North Carolina, because that's where most of my warm market is. And I want to be able to earn that business as well, if that makes sense. D-Boy said, talk about free leads. D-Boy, I'm not going to talk about anything that you ask unless you come correct. You've been doing a lot. So I'm going to see if I'm going to answer your question a little later on. I've been in insurance for a year and a half, life, final expense, and mortgage protection. Okay. All right. Yeah, final expense is very lucrative. Final expense is one of the most lucrative ways in life insurance to get paid. Like, final expense is good, but it's because they're older. That's not necessarily my market. It's a market that I definitely want to tap into, but I haven't really perfected that yet. So a lot of my clients are whole life, limited pay. They're young, 20s, doing well for themselves, and don't really have life insurance. So that's really my market. I have written a few final expense policies, but not a ton. So Melissa, I am in Georgia. So what's up? Talk to me. I got my license a couple of weeks ago. I start with Allstate next week with PNC and life insurance. Congratulations. Allstate is a great company. Allstate is actually one of my carriers. Allstate is for like personal lines, so I can do homeowners insurance and car insurance through Allstate. They're a very reputable company. They have a great brand. I actually have a fellow YouTuber. His name is Nick Saka. He's actually out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he has 2 agencies, Allstate agencies down there, and definitely check him out. His name is like Nicholas Saka on YouTube. He does insurance content as well. We actually met on here, and he gives some very, very valuable information. So who's from North Carolina here? Who's in North Carolina? North Carolina is near and dear to my heart. That's home. When I got out of college, I'm like, I'm going to stay in Charlotte for a little bit, and I'm going to move. But I fell in love with Charlotte, and I think I'll be here for a while. I just took my test yesterday and failed for property and casualty. I got a 66. I go again tomorrow. Elizabeth, I didn't pass my exam the first time either. You got a 66, and I don't know what state you're in, but most states you have to get a 70 to pass. You're so close. I guarantee you will pass tomorrow. 99.9% of the agents that reach out to me after they don't pass the first time, pass the second time, or they go up in numbers, like up in the score. So you'll do fine. Don't stress it out. The insurance exam really is meant to confuse you. It's not meant to be easy. It's not like college or high school, even middle school. It's nothing like that. It's meant to trip you up, and it's for a reason, because you're dealing with insurance, which is a very serious and legal field to be in. So, yeah. Can you tell me about the yacht policy? Elizabeth, I haven't done a lot with boat insurance. I have maybe written one insurance policy for a boat, and that was maybe close to a year ago. So I'm not really 110% on like a yacht policy and things like that. I knew it for my test, but of course, if you don't use a concept or you don't use that part of your brain for insurance, then it's like you kind of forget it. So I don't really know much about a yacht policy. Let's see. If you were to start over, which licenses would you get first? I would do the same ones that I did before, PNC, because PNC is way harder than life and health. So if you get the hard stuff out the way first, and then you go to life and health, you're like, man, this is a breeze. But if you start with life and health and then you go to PNC, it's like, yo, like this is way harder. How can I pass this if I struggle with life and health? So definitely get the harder exams out of the way first. Missouri. My brother was actually in Missouri when he's actually, I think he's in here. What were you in Missouri for, Kenyel? He's actually a military YouTuber. He does all things military. Definitely check him out. It's Kenyel, Kenye. I'll put it in the chat. His YouTube name. He has really good content. He does a lot of my like pictures and things like that. He's super dope, super dope. Shout out to DJ AB. That's definitely a great, good friend of mine. He works at Aflac in North Carolina. He does really well. I'm super proud of him. We actually went to college together, and we're from the same hometown, which is actually crazy. I heard that the exams can be super challenging to pass, with the exception of a few states like Georgia and others. What are your thoughts on this? I'm in Tennessee. So I took my exam in North Carolina, and let me tell you, it was hard. It was not easy. It was not something that you could be like, yeah, I can study over the night before, cram and pass. Nah. I never heard of it being easy, so let me know what states are easy, and I can tell people to take them there. But once you get it in one state, most states are reciprocal states, which basically means you pay money and you get that license. Some states, I believe New York is a non-reciprocal, so you have to actually take the exam again, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Excuse me, but most states you just pay the money and then you get those licenses. Yeah, it's like for boat insurance, I see somebody else talking about it. It was like, yo, when I wrote the policy, let me tell you, that was hands down one of the hardest policies that I have ever written in my life, because you have to know the size of the motor, you have to know the horsepower of the motor, you have to know how long the boat is, you have to know what it's. I'm like, for a boat, I understand it's liability. You're on the water, people can drown, people can get hurt. In third, I hope that I don't come across a lot of those in my near future. I'm going to hire somebody that is a boat specialist and can write all of that. Of course, if I have to, I can write it. I just don't prefer to write boat insurance. One thing that I do want to insure or learn how to insure are airplanes. Like those, first I want to start with like the private passenger airplanes. Is that what they're called? The people that have like the two-seaters and they're flying. I want to insure those. And then I want to go to like commercial airplanes like a Boeing jet and American Airlines or something like that. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for that definition. I got a job offer for Allstate in St. Louis, Missouri. Just have to get licensed first. So, Elizabeth, do you have any of your license or no? Earth Girl, the P&C test, first off, I don't know why North Carolina breaks up the P&C exam. The casualty for me was the hardest out of every test that I've ever taken. Casualty was just like, I couldn't grasp the concept of third party. I understand what liability is. I understand third party. However, when they were wording it on the exam, I don't know. North Carolina's test is definitely hard. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. It's super hard. Somebody asked, what's the average time you spend talking with each of your customers? I'm sure it varies, but what's your average? In regards to just selling them, like writing a policy, or am I like just is a consultation and possibly you want to write it? Like where we at? Because that depends as well. Like sometimes I'll just do consultations where I'm talking to them about their needs. It's basically what I learned from State Farm is basically like an insurance and financial review, and you kind of look over their policies if they're not with you and go over it. If it's a consultation, that can be like an hour. I did one yesterday. It was an hour and 30 minutes. If I'm writing a policy, anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes, roughly. Life insurance policies take a little longer. Commercial policies can take long if I'm writing through my non-admitted companies. That can take about 30 minutes to write. But for my commercial through like my carriers that I have my processing team to, 2 seconds. I can literally write a commercial policy in 2 seconds, and it's great. And that's why I love commercials so much. I wrote one today. I went to a coffee shop. I'm switching up my scenery throughout the day. So me and my friend went to the coffee shop today. It was a very, very nice coffee shop, super open. People were working. And I called them because I gave them a quote like a day ago. They were a catering business. Just following up with them. They said, yeah, we need to go ahead and put it into place, but I only have 3 minutes. First off, how do you only have 3 minutes? Why so exact? Whatever. Although that's fine. And I literally finished in 32 seconds. Right, like the policy. So it's great having a processing team. It's great having an underwriting team. It's great having all of that when you are an agency owner because it takes so much weight off of you. No license, but tomorrow I know I'll pass this test. Your tips really helped me for the first time now. I'm extra ready. Elizabeth, you got it. Let me know tomorrow how it goes. Comment under one of my videos. Just let me know. I get really excited when I see you guys pass the exam. Because I know what it feels like walking out of that exam and you're like, I passed. Like all of my hard work has come to pass and I am done. Because when I failed the first time I ever took an insurance exam in my life, I was like, I thought I knew it. Like, what do you mean I failed? Like maybe we need a recount or something. Like I don't think this is true. But you feel pretty bad. I beat myself up a lot about it. But, you know, once you pass the exam, it is one of the best feelings in life. It truly is. We did it, Earth Girl. And you're in Charlotte, right, Earth Girl? Do you prefer meeting clients in office or out of office? I prefer meeting clients out of office. I'm a very, what's the word? I'm a new insurance agent, like newer as in like age-wise. Like I'm a young insurance agent. So it's like I like to be out and about. So let's go to the coffee shop. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go. One guy wanted to meet at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I wrote a life insurance policy with him. We ate, we talked, got to know him a little bit, and I enjoy bonding with my clients rather than coming to the office. At the office, I feel like it's very, like, what's the word? Not medical. I feel like at the office, it's very, like, procedure. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that, sign, have a good day. But if we're at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're at the coffee shop, we're at the park, I'll write a policy anywhere. We're at the park, anywhere you want to be. I feel like I'm taking you to your element because I always ask the client, where do you want to go? Where do you feel comfortable? And you're taking me to somewhere that you like to go. I get to know you, and now I have that rapport with you. So when your renewal comes up or when you need another policy or whatever, you know me, and you trust me. You know that I'm not gonna try to pull the wool over your eyes or anything like that. Like I'm really genuinely a friend, and I'm there to help you. So, and I call all of my policyholders clients. Excuse me, I don't call them customers. I feel like customers is no relationship. It's like you buy this from me, goodbye. But I have an ongoing relationship with my clients, and I give them an ongoing service. They get a new car, they're calling me. They get whatever, they're calling me. So I'm always going to be there for them. So they're my clients. I'm very grateful for all of them. And I'm very grateful that I'm able to earn new clients every week, almost daily, to be honest. It's been definitely a blessing. Elizabeth, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. Try to get a good night's rest. Try to eat before. Listen to some calm music beforehand. Don't study like right up to the exam because you're going to be like, what am I even reading at this point? And you're nervous. I know how nervous I was going into the exam. I was shaking. I was like, I just want to pass the exam because this is going to be my career. I knew I wasn't going into it just to sell insurance. A big pet peeve of mine when I talk to people, this is just like a personal thing. I talk to people and they're like, yeah, I sold insurance for like 3 months. It was a cool side gig. This is not a side gig. Like, I take my career, my craft, my profession very seriously. And when people say things like that, it makes my skin itch. Like, they just got up and got some license to sell a few policies and didn't really care about what they were selling and got a few dollars and left. Like, that's so not cool to me at all when people say that. Tips on starting an insurance agency. So my tips would be marketing is key. People cannot buy from you if they don't know that you exist. You have to be very organized as well. You have to have everything in files. You have to have a great CRM system, something to just keep all of your documents together. And you have to be self-motivated. I heard about this Elon Musk interview, and somebody in the audience asked him, what are some words of encouragement that you would give to a business owner? And he said, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur and you need words of encouragement, you don't need to be a business owner. You need to be able to encourage yourself, motivate yourself, because at the end of the day, if you want to lay in bed all day, you can. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to say, hey, why are you not at work? Because this is your business and this is your baby. So if you don't grow it, if you allow it to run into the ground, that's on you, So that is so true, Thomas. Treat it like a hobby and it'll pay you like a career. Exactly. So that's why I love insurance. I watch insurance videos all day. I read about insurance all day. It's great. I'm very I don't know why I love just looking at like insurance has a stigma of being boring or being dull. But when I watch insurance videos or read, I will literally go to Google at night if I can't sleep and I'll read up on policies. And it's so interesting to me. Like my eyes light up. I wish I could just find a book of like all the policies in the world and just read through them. That would make me so happy. So if y'all know a book like that, let me know. Anything insurance, I truly love. How do you feel about being notarized while licensed? So with State Farm, they most of the agents that were in my office were notarized as well, because a lot of times with certain documents in insurance, you do have to get them notarized. So it is very smart to be a notary as well as an insurance agent, because that makes you a one-stop shop. And if you are also notarizing documents on the side, that's another stream of income. And I'm all about having a lot of streams of income. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So that's 2 right there, insurance and then being a notary. Yeah, I need to know. I don't know any good books to read about insurance, but I would definitely like to know exactly. You can't be timid. A timid salesperson is a broke salesperson. Whenever I'm in a presentation with a client, I always assume the sale. I have a video talking about the sales cycle and how closing the deal is just another step in the sales cycle. And a lot of times people get to that point of the sales cycle and they get nervous, but it's just like if you treat it like it's normal, like I'm just going to close the sale. And you do it just like that, I promise you'll close a whole lot of deals. I work with people that were timid and it never went well for them. Their sales were always low, but you just have to be aggressive. The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, you set that reminder for their renewal, you call them again. You never just, up and say, forget it. So you definitely have to be confident and I would say slightly aggressive to be in insurance. So I'm gonna take a few more questions and I'm gonna end this live. I try to do right at like an hour, so I'm gonna answer the last few questions and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Insurance is like knitting a pair of, I think, socks. You can take a piece of string and make clothes. You can take a policy and change a person's life. That is so true. Yeah, you can really write a policy and truly change someone's life for the better. I love insuring new businesses and just educating them on the information that they need, the coverages that they need for their insurance policy. It makes me so happy, and I love to have a network full of business owners as well. It's nice to see small businesses because we are the heartbeat of America, to be honest. Earth Girl, so was it hard getting your notary? I actually want to look into that and be get my notary license. So what does that look like? How much does it cost? I definitely want to know what that is like. Insurance for Dummies. I'll look up that book. Yeah, I'll definitely look up that book and see. But I really, really, really appreciate. Oh, it's easy. I need you to email me some information on that and just tell me your experience. I'm gonna drop my email again for you. And I want you to email me. I've had my few years good added benefits to clients. Thomas and is it Rise Porter? Can y'all email me and let me know how that is? It's an easy 2-day course. Definitely looking into that for sure. Like you said, it's good money on the side as well as beneficial to my clients. It's a one-stop shop. But I really appreciate you guys for tuning into my live today. I will most likely start doing these once a month. I'm in the process of moving, so my next one will probably be late April. But I'm very grateful for all of my subscribers. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come subscribe. I really, really, really appreciate the support. And the top 3 people, if you didn't know, I said the top 3 ideas that people send me for, let me reword that. That was horrible wording. I'm doing a contest, and essentially everybody can send me an idea for a video to my email. And the people that have the best ideas are getting a free 30-minute Zoom call with me, and I'm going to take 3 winners. So if you have emailed me a video idea and I think that I can execute that and it is going to be effective to the audience, I will definitely give you an email back and I will get on a call with you. You let me know when you're available. But thank you guys so much again. Thank you guys for the support. Again, my name is Kenny J, the insurance guru, and this is KennyJTV.